Hi true crime family, I'm Manju and welcome back to my channel where we talk about true crime cases from around the world. Today we're going to be traveling to Texas, USA. This is Terry Eric Sesler. He was born on August 3rd, 1989 and lived in Waller, Texas with his mother Rhonda, father Lawton, and older brother Mark. He was an average student in school, wasn't popular but had a good group of friends who liked anime and films. He started his YouTube channel Lenscap Productions in 2006 and his YouTube name was Mr. Anime. His niche was reviewing anime, games, and films. He was very creative and passionate about his work, and within 5 years, he had uploaded 323 videos and had almost 3 million followers. He was known for having a straightforward personality and was the type to not sugarcoat anything. If he liked the anime, he would say it. If he didn't, he would say it. He would have an open mind going into the reviews and give each thing he was reviewing a fair shot. People enjoyed this approach and trusted his insight because many of the content creators do tend to exaggerate their life and thoughts on what they're talking about. Many people who became influencers later on mentioned they were inspired by him as well. As time went on, viewers found that Terry started changing. His videos became darker, and things he would talk about were unsettling. There were alleged rumors around the town Terry lived that at night he would run around shooting empty buildings and killing animals. Some users even said they themselves saw Terry do these acts. He started searching serial killers and would rate them, like how he would rate anime, according to how many shootings, how successful they were, what kind of guns did they use, where exactly did they do it. It was years of research. He also would search ways to kill animals. He would use real guns in his videos. He would make videos about his guns and talk about shooting buildings in the middle of the night. In February 2012, Terry made a video saying he was going to take a 2 to 3 week break to reward himself. At the end of the break, he came back and released another video. He said he got a job which he found fascinating and it may prevent him from uploading videos. Now this announcement was made on March 13th, and 7 days later on March 20th, things took a turn which no one expected. Terry had been drinking heavily throughout the night, and sometime past midnight, he called his mom to the garage. Rhonda came to the garage thinking nothing of it, and when she got there, he shot her in the chest point blank 4 times. At this point, Terry realized he couldn't turn back and had to continue with his plan. He then entered the home and shot his older brother Mark twice. Mark didn't die instantly and ran off to lock himself in the bathroom. Terry then shot at the bathroom door until the door burst open. He then saw Mark lying down in a pool of his own blood on the floor. He then found his father and shot him in the head. Terry then destroyed the entire house and killed all the pets. On the walls he wrote, "Why did I do this? I love my mom, dad, and brother. God, please forgive me because I can't forgive myself." He then carried his guns and 100 rounds of ammunition to the Waller High School, which was down the street, to commit mass murder. His plan was to kill 70 students at the school's pep rally because his goal was to become the biggest mass murderer in history and become famous throughout the country. The reason he killed his family was because he wanted to spare his family from knowing what he planned. He didn't want his family to go through the shame and guilt they would have after finding out about the mass shooting. He did walk to the school but ended up changing his mind and going to his friend's house in Magnolia. The next morning, the neighbors saw the state of the house and got worried. They called the police, and also the relatives of the Sessler family called the police because they couldn't get in contact with the family members and they were worried. When the police arrived at the Sessler home around 1 p.m., they saw a gruesome scene. They described the scene resembling a war zone. The front door had a message, "I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this. God forgive me." A manhunt was issued and Terry was arrested at his friend's house in Magnolia less than 24 hours later. He was charged with 3 counts of capital murder. Police confirmed Terry had been practicing for the event for several years by storing weapons in his college dorm room and was going out at night and shooting at buildings and household pets as target practice. And he drew inspiration from the shooters Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. After he was arrested and during interrogation, he told the police that after he killed his family, he went around and shot everyone again to make sure they were dead and not in pain. And then around 2 p.m., he sent calm voice messages from his parents' phones saying that they won't be showing up for work the next day because they were dead. After this, he went to the garage where his mom was lying and slept next to her body. He did show some remorse when he was confessing his crimes to the police. However, at times, he did switch to being cold and acted like nothing was bothering him, and then suddenly he would switch back and be upset and emotional again. The police asked why did he give up on the idea of shooting at the school. Terry said that the murder of his family made everything too real, that he had taken lives, especially lives of the people he loved the most, and realized the weight of his actions, and he could no longer continue on with his plan. Terry had a twisted mind. He came to a realization at that moment that he would never see his family again and would ask if he could see the autopsy reports and which shot ultimately killed each member. It was also uncovered that weeks before March 20th, Terry did call the police and said that he was sitting in his backyard and saw bullets whizzing past his head, and he got his gun out and he was ready. The police at that time did go and check this claim when Terry made the call, but there was no active shootings. Many people believed that he would be put to death since he lived in Texas, and Texas has the death penalty. But instead, he was sentenced to life in prison. Terry had requested that his rights to parole would be removed, believing he posed a danger to himself and others. Some say he also committed other murders, but there's no way of knowing for sure. Ever since then, he has been called the anime killer of YouTube. That is the case of Terry Eric Sesler and how he became the YouTube killer. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any other case suggestions, leave it down below, and see you in my next video. Bye.